Oh, it's another hog out, and we're going live. And there's a big game today, South Africa against Afghanistan. South Africa will put under the pump for about 2 seconds. That was a toss of the coin. And we'll talk about that after the break, but we'll also discuss England versus India. A lot of chat about that, a lot of excitement about it as well. And there's a lot of excitement about Hog Out Alive. So let's get into it after the break. Anubhav, welcome. I see your question over there, but once I get through this little episode, I'll get straight to your question before we get to the guests. There's a couple of good guests as well. I'm looking forward to it. They're going to give me a little bit of banter because Australia aren't in the semi-finals, but England are in the semi-finals. India are in the semi-finals, and they're playing out Guyana tonight. And it's going to be an absolute cracker. Both teams have got good spin bowling. Both teams have got good batsmen that are very powerful. And there's a good array of pace bowling as well. So let's get up to a few matchups that could decide tonight's fixture. Firstly, let's take a look at both opening batsmen on either team. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. They're up against Josh Buttler and Salt. Salt is probably the most aggressive out of all four opening batsmen, and he'll probably be the difference in the power play overs. Though Rohit Sharma took a liking to, who was it the other night? Mitchell Starc from Australia, and he likes pace on the ball. And with the pace from England, I think Rohit Sharma could match Phil Salt. So it's going to be the difference between Virat Kohli and Josh Buttler tonight to get the momentum going through those power play overs. For me, the pressure's on Rohit and Virat Kohli here because they know that England are more aggressive in that power play. This is if they bat first. So the pressure's going to be on the two Indian openers. Do they go hard or do they play naturally and conservative? They will have to go hard tonight and take a risk for the team if they bat first. If they bat second, well, they can sum up the conditions. Though, if they're batting second and there's spin and there's turn and it's difficult through those middle overs, they still will have to take a risk in those power play overs and try and dent any total that England put up on the board. But for me, if I'm going into the matchup here, I think England have got a slight advantage with the opening pair just because they've been more explosive a lot longer than what Virat and Rohit Sharma are. But that doesn't mean that England are going to win the game because there's other matchups throughout this fixture that are going to determine who's going to win and lose. So the spin of England. Yes, Rashid is doing extremely well. He's getting those big leg spinners to turn. And you've also got Moeen Ali there. But they're up against a batting unit that's got a good mixture of left-hand and right-hand batsmen. The top four especially, they do the bulk of the job. So Rashid will be looking to bowl to Rohit and Virat Kohli if they get through those power play overs and make a dent in those middle overs against those two. And that it will be a good matchup against Surya Kumar Yadav too with Rashid, because will he use the sweep shot? Will he go with the reverse sweep shot? The thing about Sky is that he's got a good reach. So he'll be able to negate Rashid's turn away, but also if he goes with the wrong one as well, that reach he can hit with a spin. And Pant, well, he's going to be awesome against Rashid. He'll be looking for that ball to spin in, but like Dubé, he'll be seizing up for the wrong one and try and go over that cover region with the wrong one. So watch out with the two left-handed batsmen from India against Rashid to look for that wrong one and try and pound him over cover a couple of times, and that will bamboozle Rashid and put him off his game. Moeen Ali bowling to the right-handers is going to be a huge risk for England tonight. They don't want that matchup. They'll like him to be bowling to the left-handers as much as possible. I think the right-handers will take a bit of a liking to Moeen Khan. Right, let's have a quick look at the spin of India. They've got a few more options. Will they bring Chahal in tonight? No, I don't think they will. I just think they'll keep with their two left-arm off spinners in Axar Patel and Jadeja, and you've also got Kuldeep Yadav. And the good thing about England, most of their main batters, frontline batters, are right-handed batters. You've got Moeen Ali there, left-hander, and you've got Sam Curran, both of them all-rounders. So the matchups here for India against England are crucial. The left arm off spin against right-handers is going to be very difficult to hit, and this is the advantage to India. And you've got Kuldeep Yadav as well, who spins the ball both ways, and he can match it up with the left-handers as well. So for me, I think India have definitely got the better spin options than England, and that's going to make a huge difference. Kuldeep Yadav is going to be crucial. He's been the second best bowler in the Indian lineup throughout this tournament, and he's got to keep that pressure on tonight as well, because you need to give Bumrah, who we're going to talk about soon, a helping hand. Now, let's have a quick look at the pace attacks of both teams. For me, I think England might have the better pace battery than India. Now, the reason being is you've got Archer, and you've also got the option of Wood if you want with that extra pace. But you've got two left-hand options there that are both pretty good with the new ball. And Sam Curran in those middle overs with his cutting deliveries is also crucial. So Topley with that new ball, swinging the ball into both Kohli and Rohit Sharma with the odd one going straight across, will be crucial, and sets it up for Archer with his extra pace out the other end. So England have got a very good pace battery. And let's compare it to the Indian pace battery. And we've got Arshdeep Singh and we've got Bumrah there. Will Siraj play tonight? If it's green, he might come in for maybe Jadeja, and India take that risk and go with one less batting option. That's if it's green, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it'll be dry there, and they'll go with the extra spin, so Siraj won't play there. But Arshdeep Singh, he's very good with the new ball, but he doesn't really have that pace or bounce that Topley has. So Topley's just got a slight bit of advantage there, but Arshdeep's been bowling superbly. You've got also Hardik Pandya there with his medium paces, where I think England will really attack tonight when he comes on to put pressure on Rohit Sharma's captaincy. But Bumrah, he's the key out of the Indian attack, obviously, because he bowls in those crucial situations when things aren't going right for India to turn things back India's favour. And, yeah, we've just got a quick photo of Bumrah. Let's just whack that up for the things. He's the key. He's the best bowler in the world at the present moment. And the thing with England tonight, playing Bumrah, you can sit there and think, right, we can play conservatively against him and attack the other bowlers. But the thing there, if it starts turning and holding up, then spin takes precedent, and it's going to be harder against the spin. So you're crucifying yourselves there if you're taking it easy against Bumrah. I think you've got to attack him, put him under pressure. If you get a few runs off his first couple of overs, all of a sudden Rohit Sharma's under pressure with his captaincy, and the other bowlers are under pressure because the pressure that Bumrah builds has been taken away. Someone else has got to take the load on their shoulders. Now, there was one quick game today. It was there is a bit of a rain threat in Guyana tonight. Hopefully that stays away. And that poses another problem too. If there's rain around, will teams go for that extra spinner, or will they go for the extra pace? Now, this is where England have that advantage because they've got more options in that all-round department that can bowl a little bit of pace and also handle the bat. You don't forget about Jordan there, who can handle the willow down the back end as well. So there's a slight bit of advantage with the rain around going back to England's favour. But at the end of the show, I'll give you my prediction who will win tonight, even with the rain threat. But there was one game today, South Africa versus Afghanistan. I think Afghanistan were overawed, overexcited, just beating Bangladesh. The emotions were running high the other night, beating Australia a couple of days before that. They were just on a high. They were on all adrenaline, and I just think by the time they got to Trinidad to play South Africa in the semi-final, they were done and dusted. And they weren't moving their feet today when they were batting. The ball was seaming around. They're playing from the crease, and it looked as though they were still struggling with cramp that they had against Bangladesh. Sorry, I just had a chirp in there with Golberdine. That cramp, that was a poor effort. And well done to everyone for getting stuck into me for my post that I put there the other today, having a go out Golberdine with those actions. I don't think it was in the spirit of the game. People have been commenting on some of the stuff that Australia have been doing. That's in the past. I'm not proud of that. No, there's no doubt about that. But the simple fact is, if a bowling team is not bowling their over within a minute, they get penalised 5 runs if it happens 3 times in a row. Now, you're holding up play deliberately sometimes by not getting your overs in on time. Golberdine was holding up play deliberately to prevent Bangladesh from winning on the Duckworth-Lewis system. I think there should have been a 5-run penalty there at least, or maybe a suspension for the next game. If it was Australia and that happened, that player should have been suspended for the next game. That's the way I see it, because it's not in the spirit of the game. Now, as we're getting the guests up, I'm just going to go to Unabove C here. Do you think it's a good idea to include Will Jakes instead of Sam Curran today? Unabove, that is a very, very good suggestion there. I'd like to see Will Jakes in there. He provides that right arm off spin. You're right there, but Moeen Ali also provides that right arm off spin. The thing with Sam Curran, he gives you a little bit more options with the pace, but he can also play as a bit of a spinner with those cutting deliveries that he can bowl in the middle overs. But you've also got Liam Livingstone there as well to bowl some off spin and leg spin as well. So for me, Will Jakes is probably slightly better batter, but Sam Curran with the left-hand bat and the medium pace would be my choice going in there with the balance of the England team. It's a close one. Very good one. Very good observation. Hey, AK, have we got the guests up? Here we go. Here we go. Joy and Shaq. How are we going, guys?
I'm great.
Hello, Hoggy. How's that? I'm doing well.
Joy is from Bangladesh. Should I say Bangladesh? And Shashank is from Bangalore.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm going
Thank
to
you
ask
so
you
much,
both.
Hoggy, for
That's all
giving
right,
me
mate.
this opportunity.
Now, that's good. Dejoy, what has been the best thing from the World Cup for you?
I think Afghanistan's performance, they're brilliant in this World Cup. And they played so far.
Yep.
They beat Australia and New Zealand.
Hey. Well, Australia and New Zealand, I forgot that they beat New Zealand. That was so long ago in the tournament. Those are some big scalps. Not too often you beat both of those teams in a tournament. Yes, no, Afghanistan have been brilliant. Shashank, what's been the best part of the tournament for you?
Yeah, it has to be Afghanistan. And people often talk about Afghanistan's spinners, but their pacers have been great in this tournament.
Yeah, they have. Al-Haq, Naveen Al-Haq has really stood up and very impressed with very impressed with the way that he bowled against Australia. I must admit, I was going to be cheeky and just about text Jonathan Trott, because remember when he came around the wicket to Travis Head and bowled that booming away swinger and started from outside leg and then hit middle stump. It swung massively. When Mitchell Marsh came in, I thought, stay around the wicket and bowl that same line, because if it swings, Mitchell Marsh isn't going to understand how much it's swinging, LBW chance or bold chance. If it doesn't swing, all of a sudden it's going across him. So there's nothing to lose there. Whereas when he's coming over the wicket, he bowls from so wide and he's getting that in swing. It's very difficult to get the LBW, but it's also a little easier to hit with the swing on the leg side. So that's something that Naveen might look to moving forward. Now, I'm just going to quickly, before we go to one question each, I'm going to try and take one from the comments as we as you two asked me one as well. So we keep everyone engaged here. Anupam, do you rate Afghanistan's overall performance in this T20 World Cup? Anupam, yes, I do. Yeah, very much so. The only disappointing thing for me is in the semi-final today, they did not play on that wicket the way they should have. When they played against Australia and they had Hazelwood coming hard, they were very conservative. They were willing to leave the ball to Hazelwood, who was a threat, but they weren't willing to play that test match brand of cricket against the pace attack when it was seaming early on today. That's the only disappointing thing that I have from Afghanistan's campaign. Other than that, they have been brilliant. And as we spoke earlier, they beat New Zealand and they beat Australia, and they deservedly went through to the semi-final, apart from that hamstring issue, which we won't talk about any further. Rightio. Who are we going to go for first? I think we'll go with the Bangladesh lad, Durjoy.
Thank you, Matt. So my first question to you is, being an Australian, what was your thought after Australia eliminated from Super 8?
Look, I was very disappointed, very, very disappointed. And I felt sorry for Mitchell Marsh as well. Mitchell Marsh is a family friend, and I've known Jeff and I've even known his grandparents from a very young age. We grew up around the same area. So I'm disappointed for Mitchell Marsh. But at the end of the day, I think we dropped something like 15 catches. Our fielding was terrible. And that is very, very un-Australian. And when our fielding's not right, you know that things aren't right within the team, and it does cost you games. We should have won a lot more games a lot easier, and we didn't. And Afghanistan deservedly go through to the semi-finals, or went through to the semi-finals. But Afghanistan are with Australia now on the way home. We're already home. They're going home now. But enjoy the last night, Afghanistan boys, in the Caribbean, and celebrate hard on a wonderful performance. Good question there, Durjoy. Shashank.
Thank you, Matt.
Today for the India and England match, there are rain concerns. There are rain concerns now. When I looked at the forecast in the morning, it was like 80%, but it has reduced to 40% now. Would you be tempted to play Will Jacks?
Would I be tempted to play Will Jacks?
Probability of rain is lower now. Yeah.
No, I really wouldn't. I think they've got their batting lineup sorted. I just think Sam Curran's a better option.
Yeah.
I
would play, if you ask me, I would play him in place of Chris Jordan.
Chris Jordan?
Yeah. 3 seamers: Sam Curran, Jofra Archer, and Reece Topley. And I would play Will Jacks.
Yeah, I would like to have Jordan with the death overs experience. And also Jordan can handle the bat as well. I just like another frontline seamer in there. I see where you're coming from, and it's hard to argue. Both ways would be correct. But I'd probably prefer to keep Jordan in there. Yeah. You need to keep Jordan because he's got that experience in the death overs, and I'm not really confident with Reece Topley out the back end against the power hitting of India. So if Topley's got to face Dubey, Suryakumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya in the death overs, I think he'll go for more runs than what Jordan will. So that's probably why I'd stick with Jordan. Just
Can't
with that
Sam Curran do what Chris Jordan does? I think Sam Curran is good enough for that.
Yeah, Sam Curran, but I just like more options there. I'd like to be able to have Sam Curran up my sleeve to bowl more overs with Jordan through those middle overs, if need be, because Jordan's got some good change-ups as well. And then you're not putting so much pressure on Jofra Archer as well. So you can use Jofra Archer a bit like a boomer as such with that extra pace. Just use him when need be in those crunch moments. And in saying that, boomer is probably better a better bowler than Archer in those crucial moments. But that's how England would use him. Good question there. Good question. And I like your thoughts. Ganesh Carter, he asks, are you expecting any changes in the Indian playing 11? My man from Rajasthan Royals, Sanju Samson, coming in for Virat Kohli. What do you reckon, Shashank? No?
No.
What do you reckon, Durjoy?
I think they will go for the same team.
Yep. No, they'll definitely go for the same team. I'm just having a little bit of banter there with everyone. They'll go with the same team. I think Virat Kohli is going to have a massive night. The only change that you may see is Siraj coming in if they look out the wicket and there seems to be a bit of a greenness in it, and it will suit seam. Now, Durjoy, your next question, please, mate.
Sure, mate. Thank you so much. Back in 2006, Australia came to Bangladesh for a series. 26th April 2006, Australia beat Bangladesh by 67 runs. Andrew Simon got century and you got 3 wickets. Can you remember? And another question is, how was Bangladesh that time?
How was Bangladesh that time? That was that was a good tour. That was a tour that Jason Gillespie got the double 100, wasn't it, in the Test match?
Yeah, sure.
There's 2 things that I remember of that tour. Jason Gillespie, the one-day team that were joining the rest of the. So there's some Test players that were playing in the one-day tournament, but the rest of the one-day team arrived that day. We rocked up, and I think I was sitting with Shane Watson if Watto was on the tour. But I remember sitting with someone, and Jason Gillespie went out, and I said, he's going to make 100 here. And he made 100, and then he went on and made double 100. Didn't he run Ricky Ponting out in that Test match? I remember that. But the other one was Cosgrove making his debut in that third one-dayer. That was a big one. And actually, there was another player there, Cullen, the right-arm off-spinner from South Australia playing. I remember him being there as well. He'd been in the squad for a year. And I'll share this with you. I think we played India and the West Indies in Malaysia around the same time. And this is one of the only times that I sort of had a disagreement with Ricky Ponting because Ricky and the selector there came up to me and said, we're going to play Cullen one game, then you the next, then Cullen, then you. And I said to him, well, why is that? Well, we just want to see what he's like. And I said, well, hang on, I'm not playing Test cricket. This is my Test arena. This is my spot. If I'm good enough, I should be playing, not giving it to someone else. And I was a little bit frustrated there, and there was a little bit of selfishness there as well, which is not what you want as a player or a team member. But I felt my spot was in jeopardy, and all of a sudden there was extra pressure on me, and it was a good thing. When you look back at it, but when you're in the moment, you're in trouble. But that particular series, I got 3 wickets that game. Andrew Simons got 100. It was a good 100 under pressure as well. Now I don't know my snatch too well. You've told me that I've got 3 wickets. I think that was one of my better series that I played in. Yeah, so that's what I remember. But Jason Gillespie's 100 out Chittagong, that was fantastic. And the pizza shop, and the pizza shop across our hotel in Chittagong was sensational. It was a Pizza Hut, I think it was. It was brilliant. Hawaiian pizzas. Shashank, have you got another one for me?
Yeah, I got another one. Yeah. The stats say that chasing on this ground is a little bit difficult. And rain or run, what would you do? Like, would you chase or bat first?
That's a difficult one. That puts things in a tight situation. I would actually. I'd actually chase, because then you know what the
target,
situation is, and if the overs are shortened, then you can play accordingly. And as the overs get shortened, all of a sudden the pressure's on the bowling team, because certain bowlers, you might only get three overs from your frontline bowler rather than 4. So for me, I think Boomerang and Kuldeep Yadav are your keys. You want to try and get 4 overs out of both of them. So I'd bowl first and bat second, but that's at a huge risk. Either way you're going, it's a huge risk, and that's why the game is going to be so exciting tonight. Yeah. The excitement is just going to be unbelievable. Who are Aman Ray? How are you going, Aman? What do you think will be the strengths and weaknesses of both teams in today's match? Kuldeep Yadav and Rashid, both leg spinners, are going to be huge strengths. Boomerang and Archer. And I think for England, it's going to be Phil Salt out the top of the order, and Rishabh Pant for me in the batting lineup of India, with Surya Kumar Yadav. Those two are unpredictable, play a different brand of game, and are very difficult to bowl to. And in saying that, I'll put my prediction now, just in case some people have to go. I'll just put my prediction out there now. I think India have probably got the better 11 than England tonight, and have been playing more consistent cricket than what England have. So I'm favouring India tonight. Okay, Durjoy, your next question, please, mate.
You are a legendary leg spinner, so I have an interesting question for you. 1 year back from today, Bangladesh had no proper leg spinner. But in this World Cup, there is a Bangladeshi guy who is called Rishad Hussain. He bowled brilliantly in this World Cup. He took 14 wickets from 7 innings. How do you rate him? And another question is, in this era of modern cricket, how important is a leg spinner for a T20 game?
Rashad, that's how you pronounce his name, isn't it? Rashad.
Rishad.
Rashad Hussain. Yes, Rashad Hussain. I thought he really improved as the tournament went on, and bowled well under pressure in the final couple of games. I think he's got a lot of potential, and I think Bangladesh moving forward, they're going to have to look out, right, what's our balance? Where are we going moving forward now? We have to change our culture. We have to build a new culture. I think they're going to have to look for youth moving forward. And Rishad is one of those players that they've got to stick with and nurture and grow. So for me, they've got to make big changes now. What's happening at the moment is not working. Didn't win a World Cup game. You lost against Afghanistan. And that, for me, is time for serious changes. Crucial leg spinners in T20 cricket, they're absolutely crucial. Absolutely crucial. You can spin the ball both ways. Also, you can bowl the top spinner with extra bounce, and you get more drift in the air as well. And I think that's one thing, even if you're an off spinner or a leg spinner, it's not about what happens off the wicket. If it's spinning more, well, you're in the game a lot more. But if it's not spinning, the movement in the air is what troubles the batsman with their footwork. And if you're a leg spinner, you can move it with a leg spinner drifting into the right-hander. You can bowl the wrong un, and sometimes your wrong un drifts away. Sometimes it drifts with the spin. And that change of trajectory can bamboozle the batsman. And that's why the leg spinner is more important than the off spinner. And when you're looking at it too, Rashid and Chahar, the two leg spinners that are in the two camps. Chahal, for me, doesn't really have a wrong un that you can disguise. Rishad looks as though he's got a wrong un that you can disguise. So Chahar doesn't have that wrong un. When he's under pressure, he goes to those wide deliveries, and teams are starting to work that out. and starting to punish him when he goes wide. Whereas Rashid has got more options, and that's why Chahar is not playing and Rashid's playing for England. And Chahar's not playing and Kuldeep Yada's playing in front of him. Great questions there, Jojo. Quite question. Yeah. Shashank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have to say anything about Jonathan Trott?
Jonathan Trott?
Like he just pointed out to the clock and say, slow it down. There needs to be some reaction. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think the emotions were there as well. Remember, Afghanistan haven't got through to the to a semi-final. It was a big moment on the line right then and there. They've just beaten Australia, and all of a sudden you're playing Bangladesh, and he would have been worried going into that game that the Afghanistan team were probably overexcited and were thinking too much about the semi-final rather than playing Bangladesh, because it's right, we've beaten Australia, we should be able to beat Bangladesh. And all of that was weighing up. I saw him kick a bucket or something just to walk in the door halfway through the game.
On his way to the dressing room.
Yeah. I think if he looks back at that, he'll be a little bit frustrated that probably shouldn't have done it. But that's the thing. You're the coach. You're seeing this group of players wanting to do well. You could see that they're that close to one of the biggest achievements in Afghanistan cricket, and the joy that it brings to the people as well, and to those particular players. I just think the emotions just brewed up with not only him, but other support staff and also the players as well.
Yeah.
You can see the frustration in the players, or you can see the panic in the players. I'd call it panic rather than frustration. Yeah. But you shouldn't be saying slow the game down. And that's the same with Golbadine, what I said at the start there. There should be a word or two spoken at least, maybe a small fine, because we can't have that in the game of cricket moving forward.
Yeah.
The rules are there. Rain plays, and sometimes you're on the wrong end of the stick. Other times you're on the right end of the stick. So you've just got to play it as you play it. So, but they're learning things. Jonathan Trott has done a wonderful job for Afghanistan as coach. He has.
Good.
And I played with him out Warwickshire, and he's a wonderful team man, wonderful bloke. And what he did, and what he did wasn't wrong as such, but it was just pushing the boundaries as such. It's just that excitement. Slow it down, And to be honest with you, if I was in the same situation, coaching Afghanistan, I probably would have been doing the same thing.
Yeah, but an Australian coach would have been dealt differently.
Well, Australian coach wouldn't have had to do anything because the captain's probably doing the job out in the middle in.
No, I meant the Aussie coach would cop more blows. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly right. All right, Atal Baral, he's over here. How good was Rohit's innings against Australia in the previous? Now, Atal Baral's from Nepal, and thanks very much for getting into Australia with this. I'd rate it as one of the best innings in the T20 World Cup, taking Stark to the cleaners just after King Kohli's dismissal is admirable. Atal, I thought it was just a fantastic innings, and I thought he had Australia on the ropes out that stage. I remember, I think it was the fourth ball, maybe the third ball. Mitchell Stark Rohit hit Mitchell Stark over mid-wicket, and Mitchell Stark's turned around, and I don't know whether he said the ball's not swinging or he's hitting with the wind. I couldn't understand what is with his lips, but that particular moment, I knew that India were on top of Australia, and Australia was starting to lose their way. And it's a bit different in the final that they played against India last year in Ahmedabad. I just sensed that Australia were in control. They were going to win it, even though India got off to a good start, because they were calm, they were composed, and they were switched on. I just felt that Australia in the last 2 games of this World Cup especially weren't switched on. Good question. Good observation, Atal. All right. Durjoy, let's go back to you.
Yes. Thank you, mate. My another question is, if Bangladesh Cricket Board BCB offers you to become coach of Bangladesh, will you agree or not?
Would I agree? Depends on the terms and conditions. We've got the lawyer there, Shashank. So I'll get Shashank to sort my contract out, and off I go to Bangladesh. Look, it would be a great opportunity. I think probably an assistant coach first up would be probably a better option for me. But I think there's a lot of upside for Bangladesh cricket. If an opportunity come, I'd seriously think about it. Yes.
Thank you, mate.
Yes. Yeah, it's something that if you asked me a year ago, or if you asked me 2 years ago, probably no. I've done a bit over the last year, and I've really enjoyed it. And I think there's a lot there where you've got a lot of upside. You can help players with their mindset, with their game, and there's nothing to lose, everything to gain with Bangladesh. It would be really good posting, yeah. And look, there's been some Australian coaches, and Alan Donald's been over there as well. They've all done a fantastic job. Yeah. Would you have me, Jojo? Would you have me?
Obviously, mate.
No, it would be good. Actually, the Bangladesh women are coming over here next month, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Pakistan, and playing against a couple of our T20 teams. Yes, so the Bangladesh women are making it to Australian shores, yet we won't have the men. That's something I'll talk to Cricket Australia about. Shashank, what's your next question, please?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, what is Virat Kohli overdoing, something related to strike rate? Is that in his head? Like, he's not freely flowing.
I think I don't know what it is with Virat. He had a little bit of break before he got to the T20 World Cup. He wasn't with the team out at the start. And, you've got to be careful too, because he plays all forms of the game for India. He puts his heart on his sleeve. He always goes out there and gives 100%.
Yeah. He's not just fluent blessed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not fluent.
He's out of touch. Got out to a pull shot the other night. Yeah. I think tonight he'll be really switched on. I think the only thing with Virat Kohli at the present moment is that he's got this aura about him. He's got the whole country on his shoulders, wanting to do well. I just think sometimes when you're in that position, he might be just trying a little too hard.
Yeah.
And rather than just sitting back and being calm and playing his natural game, has he? That would be the question that I'd be looking at if I was in the coaching staff. I'd be looking at what's happening outside of the training facilities, what's happening with his lead up to the game. Is he relaxing like he does when he's at his best? What's his routines like? Because there's been short turnarounds with travel. That might be affecting his preparation as well. He might be someone that needs a couple of days to be able to prepare as well, and to get his mind right. So that's something that I'd be looking at with the coaching staff. More the mindset, because we know that he can do it. We know he's got the skill. Yeah. It's just up here. It's just up there. Something's not quite right with the preparation in the mind. Yeah. But you know what I'm really enjoying? with Virat Kohli is he hasn't been doing well, but the encouragement that he's been giving on the sideline when the others have been doing extremely well has been sensational, and that shows his true character. I think Rohit the other day was Rohit the other day was on fire, and he was enjoying every minute of it. And that's been a promising thing, because it's probably been pretty hard on him with Rohit Sharma taking over the captaincy, and then it took him a while to sort of feel his spot in that team. When I say spot, what his role is, because it's pretty hard going from the leader where you're the front man to the second in charge. So, I've really admired his career. He's just been absolutely fantastic. Rightio, Crestart Printers, Coomerun. Crestart Printers. Might have to look that up tonight, whether that's an advertisement or not. Will India score 300 runs today in India T20 Cricket World Cup? High run rate, banned, and England win. England won't win tonight. I think if you score around about 160 tonight, that will definitely be a winning score with what we've seen in Guyana. But I still think 140 might be competitive if it's dry and rain stays away as well. So, that's probably – and it's all going to be done in the power play. If you can be 50 to 60 not in the power play with limited wickets down, you are going to win. And I've got KR here. It has rained quite a lot in Bridgetown. Does it have any effect on the pitch? It shouldn't have any effect on the pitch at the present moment in Bridgetown, because they should have covers there. Well, with some of the pitches that we've seen throughout the World Cup, they might want to get a roller on it and just fix up a few cracks as well, because the ball's been pretty up and down. And the one today with Afghanistan and South Africa, there's a few moments there where I thought batsmen are in a bit of trouble. Now, Durjoy.
Yes, Matt.
Have you got another question?
Another question. Yeah. My another question is, how do you rate Rohit captaincy in this World Cup?
Rohit's captaincy's been pretty good. He hasn't really Rohit's captaincies are very good. He's used Boomer at the appropriate times. The other day, Kuldeep got hit for a 6 from Travis Head, and then I think he kept him on, and he got Glenn Maxwell out the next over, I think it was. I like the way that he operates and backs his players. He's very good strategically, and I think that's going to be the difference too with India tonight. I just think his captaincy is on the money now. I'm glad that he had a rest of captaincy with the Mumbai Indians. I think that's freshened him up as well, giving him a clearer mind. So I'm very impressed with Rohit Sharma's captaincy. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to go back to the first question that you asked with Andrew Simon's 100 and that. What was your best memory from that? This is going back to 2006, Australia versus Bangladesh. We whipped you in 2 test matches and 3 one-days. What was your memory from that? Oh, you've cut out.
Wait.
Yeah, what was your best memory from that series?
My best memory?
Yeah.
My best memory in that series was your 3 wickets against Bangladesh, which means Australia won against Bangladesh by 67 runs maybe, and you got 3 wickets, and Simon got 100.
Bishal, wasn't it? Bishal the captain? I got him out twice throughout the series. You captained twice. I remember getting him out the first game and the third game.
I think Habibul Bashar was the captain for Bangladesh that time.
Yeah, Bashar. Yep. Yeah, I remember that. So, yeah. I always like to go after the skipper of the opposition team, the best player too. I was always after Tendulkar, but he only let me get him out once. He was too good for me. Shashank, have you got another question there, please?
Yeah. If this World Cup were to like happen again, would you go with Cummins or Marsh as captain?
I'd keep it the same. I don't think the captaincy was the problem. I don't think their preparation was between games was up there. I don't think they were prepared enough. And the reason why I say that is because they dropped too many catches in the field, and it's un-Australian. So it's not so much the captaincy. It was probably more the preparation around the scenes. So when you're in the Caribbean and you're traveling every second day to play, travel, play. I just don't think Australia were as prepared as the other teams, and that's probably their downfall. So, good question. Do you know Pravan Kumar?
Sorry?
Do you know Pravan Kumar?
No.
Robin Kumar.
No. Oh, right. Shashank, Virat, or Warner? This is Pravan Kumar.
Virat or Warner?
Yep.
I think both.
Both?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I'm going to ask you. What did you guys? I want your comments on Warner's career since Pravan Kumar has brought that up. Warner's career. What have you thought about it?
To consider the sandpaper gate, it was a mistake. Yeah, right. And the punishment was also too harsh. But he's been a great competitor. Like arguably the best three-format batsman Australia's ever seen. Yeah.
Yep.
You can't take that away from him.
Yep, definitely. What about you, Durjo?
I will go for Virat.
You'll go for Virat? Yep. Yeah. But why would you go for Virat?
I think he's probably the best batsman in this.
Yep.
Right now. Right now, he's the best batsman.
He's got a better cover drive. Yeah. And now you're a reporter over in Bangladesh. What do you think of Warner's career? How would you sum up Warner's career?
Warner's a legend cricketer. He represents Australia, and his stats say he's obviously a genuine match winner cricketer for Australia. He services Australia over the years, and I think for me, Warner is after Adam Gilchrist, for me in Australia, Warner was the second man I impressed for.
That's good. I think David Warner and Shashank brought up the sandpaper stuff there. And this is Anupam. He's playing with and against David Warner. Excuse me. David Warner was very tough to play against. He was always in your face. I'll share. We were over in Bangladesh for the T20 World Cup, 2014, wasn't it, or 2012? When was that?
2014.
2014, yes, yeah. And anyway, we were out the Australian consulate's place, and they had a tennis court, and I'm playing a game with George Bailey. Then David Warner brings another player over. I think it was it might have been I can't remember who it was now, but Warner comes over. He teams up with George Bailey. He sits out the net and he starts chirping out me. He's winding me up. So instead of playing proper tennis, I'm trying to keep in the game. But when I've got an opportunity for a big shot, I'm trying to nail it straight out David Warner. I'm trying to hit him. He'd stirred me up. And he doesn't have to do much. He's a little cheeky and he's good. But he's a teammate that you want by your side because you know when the chips are down, he's going to stand up. He's going to fight. And he's got that killer instinct about him. And as Shashank brought up with the sandpaper gate, he handled that really well. He's had controversies throughout his career, but the one lesson anyone listening here that you can take away from David Warner is that you are going to have your ups and downs. People are going to challenge you. People aren't People are going to love you. People are going to hate you. Don't worry about the people that don't like you or are jealous about you. Why worry about them? Worry about the positives. Worry about the people that are on your side. And if you stick with that, you're going to have a better life, because you're not going to change other people's opinion. And that's probably the best advice I could give about David Warner: his resilience and his willingness to stick up for his mates and not worry about the people that are negative. So try not to have negative people around you. Have positive people who want the best for you. And the other thing that I will mention is his wife, Candice.
Yeah.
Over here in Australia, so she's on a couple of media shows. Sometimes she says a bit, sticking up for David, and I just love that. You want to have a wife that's got your back, and those two have been absolutely fantastic. Candice has had a wonderful sporting career herself, but those two have been phenomenal, and he's had a great career. Now, guys, no more questions, you reckon? No more questions? Or have you got one more each?
It's for us.
I have a question.
Yeah, have you got one more each? Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Do you miss Andrew Simons?
Oh, yeah, big time. Big time. Big time. Yeah. Huge. He's probably he's a teammate that just brought everyone together. It was just so much joy to be around. It was fantastic. Brilliant cricketer, but brilliant bloke as well. Brilliant bloke, yeah. Oh gee, yeah. No, that's but that's life, isn't it? It's life.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with that is you've got to try and make the most of every opportunity that you've got, because you don't know when it comes to an end. I think, we lost Warney and Rod Marsh at the same time. I think Peter Philpott went out at the same time as well. There were a few Australian cricketers at that stage that all had a huge impact. It was great.
Rod Marsh and Shane Warne a day apart, just a day apart.
You met him at the airport?
No. I said we lost Rod Marsh and Shane Warne just a day apart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were great players, and they did so much for Australian cricket. They were wonderful. Yeah, that's a bloody hard question when we've got to the end there. That's come out of left field, dear Joy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's I could carry on about Andrew for a long time. Shashank, have you got one quick question?
Yeah. What would be your prediction for today?
Definitely India. I think they've got a better bowling lineup than what England have for those conditions. Yeah, so England for me. The only area where England will have the advantage is the power play overs. If England make 20 more runs in the first 6 overs than India, then I think England will win the game. That's the only area where I think India will have trouble. Now, I'm going to go back to the Joy's question there with Andrew Simons. We're playing against India out the SCG, and I'm batting with Andrew Simons. We had a pretty good partnership in this particular fixture. And I'm facing Harbhajan Singh, and I've charged him, and I've tried to take him over mid-on for 6. I didn't time it quite well. It's gone up in the air. Ishan Sharma's running back. Didn't get a hand on it. Came back for 2. And Andrew Simons has walked down. Remember the white zinc that he's got on his lips?
Yeah.
And he's coming, George, come here. So George is my first name, but it's my nickname. But George, come here. What was that? Mate, tossed it up. I was trying to hit him for 6. We're in trouble. Pull your head in. So he had that cunny knack of him. So just that deep voice. George, come here. Meet Donk. So he used to meet Donk. He invented something called the hog pile as well, where, if I was a little annoying or something like that, he'd grab me, pin me down, and the rest of the teammates would jump on, pile on, and I had a bit of a problem with claustrophobia. So he knew it. That's so there you go, Joy. You brought that up out the back end there with Andrew Simons. I'm glad you mentioned him. Great mate, miss him dearly, and that's the way it goes. Right. So India to win tonight, Shashank.
Yeah, I think India is going to win. But if the overs are, if the match goes for less overs, advantage England. Yeah, if it's inside 10 overs, I think it's advantage for England.
Very good summation. Very good summation.
Yeah.
DeJoy, what do you reckon?
Tough call. I think I will go for England.
Rightio. That's not because you're from Bangladesh and you have your issues with India, or is it just the way the teams are matched up?
I love England. That's right.
Rightio. No. Do you go for England when they're playing against Australia?
Sorry?
Do you go for England when they're playing against Australia?
I will go for Australia for sure. Because of you.
Oh, right. Rightio. You could have stirred me up there. Shashank, who do you go for, England or Australia when they're playing against each other?
Australia.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, thanks very much for joining me. It's been wonderful. Thanks, everyone else who passed on their questions down the side here. There's a few that I didn't get to. Sorry about that, but it's great to have HOGGOUT live. We've got one or two more before, we've got one more before the World Cup ends. And then we might do one after the T20 World Cup and just get everyone's thoughts on what they thought happened in the IPL. So well done to South Africa today. Good luck to India and England, and also special mention to Afghanistan. What a wonderful performance they did throughout the T20 World Cup to get in the semi-finals. Pity that they didn't have the best of days today, but that's the way it goes. Good luck, everyone. Stay safe. Hog out.